Hi everyone, I'm Ritika. We're going to work on some of our core muscles today. Grab 2 blocks, let's begin. Let's come to lie down on the mat, taking the soles of the feet to touch and the knees flop out, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Keeping the feet as close or as far away from the hips as feels comfortable right now. Taking one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. Just tuning into the breath. Expanding through the belly, the ribs and the chest with every inhale. And grounding down with every exhale. Just breathing in a little bit deeper now. And using the breath to come into the present moment. Noticing the expansion of the rib cage with every inhale. And staying here for a few breaths. Relaxing any facial muscles that may be tensing up right now. And then slowly bringing the knees together, walking the feet out as wide as the mat, and then letting the knees just move towards each other. Taking both hands at the belly this time. And really focusing on that expansion and contraction through the belly, through the core, as we inhale and exhale here. Then walking the feet about hips width apart, so walking them in, lifting the shins up so that the knees are right over the hip bones and the legs, the shins, are parallel to the floor. Yeah, about like that. And it's okay if they're not completely parallel, if the legs are opening up a little bit or down, but we want to keep the knees right over the hips. And if this feels uncomfortable for the lower back, feel free to slide your hands right under the lower back and giving it some support here. But we're going to hold this position and really focus on the core muscles. Moving the belly button towards the spine here. At the next inhale, straighten through the right leg any amount and bend the right knee again. Straighten through the left leg, bend the left knee. Straighten through the right, bend the right knee. Straighten through the left, bend the left knee. Straightening through the right one more time, bend the right knee again to meet the left. Straighten through the left knee and then hug both knees into the chest. And then turning to one side, press into your hands and come on to hands and knees. So hands right under the shoulders and knees right under the hips. At the next inhale, open the chest, arching through the lower back, the mid back and the upper back. Exhale, lift the belly up, tucking the tailbone in and letting the head go. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, open the chest using the entire inhale to find this movement. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, rounding through the lower back, the mid back and the upper back, letting the head go. On the next inhale, come into a long spine, so finding length all the way from the crown of the head to the tailbone, and send the right leg back. Keep pressing into the hands, so you're kind of puffing up between the shoulder blades. Keep that right leg really strong and then lift up through the left leg so that the left knee is hugging into the chest. Hold here for a breath. And as you exhale, send that left leg back. Always remember that the breathing cues are just suggestions. So feel free to breathe at your own pace. Then hug that left knee in one more time and release it to the ground. Bring the right knee to join the left. Inhale, open the chest, arching through the back. Exhale to round. Inhale, finding that long spine again, and adjust your stance if you feel like the knees are not quite under the hips this time. And then send that left leg back, tucking the toes on the left foot. Keep pressing into the hands. Making that left leg really strong and active, hug the right knee into the chest. Stay here for a breath. And as you exhale, send that right leg back. Then hug the right knee back in, bring it down, and bring the left knee to meet the right. Moving into child's pose. So again, adjust your stance if you need to. Send the hips towards the heels and bring your arms forward, a long child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Again, noticing how the inhales expand through the rib cage and releasing tension as you exhale. Then walk both hands towards the right side, so the hips might move a little bit to the left, and then take the left hand over the right. We are stretching the side body. And then move both hands towards the left side. The hips might move to the right, taking the right hand on top of the left, stretching the right side. Coming back to center. One more breath in child's pose. And then looking in front, planting the hands as wide as shoulders, tucking the toes, lifting the hips for downward facing dog. Keep the knees bent for the first downward dog, really pushing into the hands, sending your torso towards the thighs, letting the head go, and then slowly straightening through the legs. Feel free to pedal through the feet here if you need to, stretching the hamstring, then feel free to keep the legs bent the entire time. So we are trying to keep really strong arms here, finding external rotation through the arms, letting the head be heavy, lifting the hips up, and keeping the legs strong, and maybe they straighten. One more breath here. Exhale, walk your feet to the hands and just fold forward. Keep your knees bent if you need to. You can keep your feet together or hips width apart. Just letting go. Hold on to opposite elbows here and just sway a little from side to side. Then release the hands and come all the way up, moving as slowly as you can, just unruffling that spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Do it slower than I did. And when you reach the top, you can just shrug your shoulders up and down a couple of times. And come to stand in Samasthiti. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, just tuck the chin into the chest. Keep the knees soft and just start rounding back down, letting the shoulders round, letting the arms be heavy, guiding this movement all the way down. And once you reach down, keep the knees bent, take the hands down, walk the legs back, coming into tabletop. Great. Now feel free to stay here, or move the right leg back and the left leg back coming into plank. If you are in tabletop, take a cat-cow movement and then come all the way down. If you are in plank, hold it for one more breath. And as you exhale, bring the knees down, keep the pelvis tucked in a little bit, and then come all the way down. Come onto the tops of your feet. And then just bring your elbows down, right under your shoulders. So you're in a Sphinx pose with the forearms parallel to each other, about as wide as shoulders. And then rolling the shoulders back, looking in front. On the next exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and then very gently engage through the ab muscles, lifting only the belly up. So this is a very small movement and you're maybe lifting an inch off the floor. Exhale, bring the belly down and look in front, opening through the chest. Exhale, tuck the chin in, rounding a little through the upper back even and lifting the belly up. Inhale, release the belly down, open the chest, look up. Exhale, tuck the chin in. Press into the elbows to lift that belly up. And it's okay if you shake a little bit here. Inhale, look up. One last time. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest. Really find engagement through the abs. Lift up and then release back down. You can make a little pillow with your hands and just rest your forehead there for a breath. Finding that engagement through the abs, through the sides of the torso here. Lift that right leg up and then set it down. Lift the left leg up, set it down. The right leg comes up, down, the left leg up, down. Keep the toes engaged, keep the leg engaged. Right leg moves up, down, left leg moves up, down. One more time. Right leg's up, down, left leg's up, down, and then maybe both legs go up, hold. They don't have to be too high up, it's just a couple of inches of the floor, and then release. And breathe. Notice the sensations in the body. Notice the heartbeat. Notice all the thoughts that may come up. Great. Take your hands right under the shoulders. Press into the hands. Come on to the knees. And then move straight to downward facing dog from here. Bending the knees, sending the hips up, letting the head go, and then straightening through the right leg, and maybe straightening through the left leg. 3 long breaths here. The next exhale, walk the feet to the front of the mat. Taking your hands to the shins, inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, any which way you like. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, taking your hands to the shins, press into the hands, find a long spine. Exhale, bring the hands down, and this time, if you have those blocks, take them on either side of your feet. Sending that left leg back, bringing the left knee down. So we come into a low lunge. If you have any sensitivities in your left knee, take some padding for under it. Take your arms up. Stay here for a breath. Make sure that the right knee is over that right ankle. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Lift up through the right arm, coming into a twist. So here we can try to make sure that our hips are in line. So take your hand to that right hip and send the right hip back so it's in line with that left hip. And then bring that right arm up. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe lift up through that left knee. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Walk the left foot in, so you're on that right foot now, and then lift up through that left foot. You can keep your hands on the blocks. So we're in a supported warrior 3 stance. We want to make sure that the toes on that left foot are pointing down, and then the hips are in line. The exhale, bring that left knee to meet the right, and then fold forward. Hold on to opposite elbows and just release. The next inhale, bring your hands back on the blocks, lift through that right leg and send the right leg back. Then bring that right knee down, lift up through the arms, coming into the lunge on the left side. Make sure that the right toes are tucked under and breathe. And then as you exhale, bring that right hand down. Make sure that the left hip is in line with the right hip. So check on that. And then lift up through that left arm, coming into a twist. And breathe. Maybe lifting up through that right knee. Then bringing that left hand down on the block, walking the right foot in, pressing into that left foot, lifting up through the right, coming into a supported warrior 3. So you again want to make sure that the right toes are pointing down, engaging through the abdomen, keeping the legs strong. I hope you have more space than I do for your spine. And then bring the right knee in and bring the right foot to meet the left. Exhale to fold. Hold on to the opposite elbow. And just release. And then release the arms. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Inhale, take your hands to the shins to find that long spine. Exhale, bring your hands down and find your way to plank, pressing into your hands. As you exhale, come all the way down, bringing the knees down first, or coming all the way down in one piece. Coming onto the tops of your feet. Walk your hands out, diagonal to the mat. Come onto the fingertips. Inhale, lift up through the head, neck and chest. Exhale to fold. Keep the legs really strong here. So you're pressing into the tops of the feet and the knees might lift up the mat. Press into the fingertips. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Press into the fingertips. Inhale, lift the head, neck and chest. Exhale to release. Walk your hands right under the shoulders. Press into the hands. Come onto the knees and come back to tabletop position. So hands are under the shoulders and knees are under the hips. Tuck the toes and lift the knees an inch off the floor. Want to make sure that we're pushing ourselves away from the floor. The knees are a couple of inches off the floor here. We're really pressing into the hands. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Release the knees back down. Come onto the tops of the feet and just hold this position. The
Take a few deep breaths here without moving or changing anything. One more time. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees a few inches off the floor. Again, pressing yourself away from the floor. Keeping the neck fairly relaxed, so you're just looking a few inches in front of your hands. Finding engagement through the abs. And if you're shaking here, that's great. And then release the knees back down.
Come to sit on your heels, so feel free to take a few blocks right here. Interlace the fingers, and then just move the hands in one direction and then the other. And then extend the arms forward with the fingers interlaced, and then maybe move the arms all the way up. It's okay if the shoulders creep up. Notice how this stretch creates so much space in the body for deeper breath through the rib cage. And then bring the arms down and just let's come to lie down. So any which way you like, hug the knees into the chest. And then bring the left foot down so it's in line with the hip. Open the hip on the right side, taking the right foot on that left thigh, just under the left knee. So we are opening the right hip here. Great. Keep that right foot really engaged, really strong. That will protect the right knee. And then maybe we hug that left knee into the chest. So go only as far as feels comfortable for you. You don't want to feel any pain through the knee. Just breathing into this stretch. And one more breath here. Then straightening through the left leg, keeping the right knee hugging into the chest this time, taking the right knee across towards the left side, coming into a spinal twist. Planting the shoulders into the ground. And then come back to center. This time, taking the sole of the right foot in line with the hip. Then opening the left hip, taking the left foot on the right thigh, right under the right knee, hugging the right knee into the chest. Again, go only as far as it feels good for you. Don't want to feel any pain in the left knee. And then just hug the right knee into the chest, any amount. And just breathing here. And straightening through that right leg, hugging the left knee into the chest and taking the left knee across. Coming into cactus position with the arms. Shoulders are grounding down. Breathe. And then coming back to center, hugging both knees in. One final time. Moving into Shavasana, lengthening through the legs, taking the arms by your side, palms facing up. Just moving the head from side to side once and finding a nice, comfortable position for it to rest. Closing your eyes and just becoming aware, becoming an observer. Anavasthitatva is the inability to maintain a state of being, as mentioned by Patanjali. How does one maintain a calm state of mind or a healthy state of body? To create and nurture good energy in our lives, we must constantly present it with care. And start making small movements. Wiggling your fingers and toes, moving your head from side to side. Turn to one side and slowly come up to seated. Thank yourself for practicing today, for showing yourself love. I'm going to chant one Om. Feel free to join or listen. Om. Namaste.